makes me nervous about
Exactly,
situations because
that's it.
yeah, but like when you don't have notes, you're nervous as well. So what do you do?
At least you're nervous and kind of prepared.
Yeah. It's weird that because there's no way to do it. But I feel like once you realise that we're just having a conversation
just
and it's just
flow in it.
it's cool.
I feel like see with notes, it doesn't flow as well.
Yeah,
I know.
exactly.
Like it's more rigid.
Don't get me
That's
wrong,
it,
they're
when
great. They're great for a little reminder.
Yeah, just
But-
in case they're
Yeah,
good for that. Like
yeah.
if your mind goes blank, it's good just to have.
That's it, I know. We were sitting and just doing that, and then we were like putting all the points out, and then we were reading the feature, and we are like, "This sounds like an interview or something." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, just
yeah.
go in and chat and see how you go. You know what I mean? That's
yeah.
so much
Yeah.
better like that. So
Just over preparation
yeah, that's it. So
kind of ruins it. Yeah.
we get started then. Another episode, Kush and Kel's Corner.
Yes, welcome back. I
That's it.
suppose
And,
episode 4, I believe we're on.
That's
Yeah,
it. It's crazy. Yeah.
So, with Sanjeev Mann today.
there we go.
Welcome
That's
to it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Back to be here, man.
Yeah, welcome.
That's it,
That's
man.
it.
So looking forward to it. But yeah, mate, we're just got even like just we're just chatting away there before we started. You know what I mean? We just get back into it. Kind of what kind of a bit about you, like you know what I mean? What your story kind of thing.
Yeah.
Go as far back as you want, as much of details you want. Just flow for a wee bit. See what you know what I mean?
Cool.
Um,
would you want to start?
Yeah, so like,
Whatever.
whatever, really. Just even we can chat a bit about you, your life, and then a bit about how you got into the music and
Aye.
stuff like that, and things like that. Aye.
That's definitely what I want to
For
hear. How
sure.
you got
Yeah,
into the
that-
music
that's
as
the
well.
kind
Yeah,
of-
yeah,
That's it.
definitely.
Yeah,
Cool.
for sure, something like that.
Do you want to? I don't know what to start.
Yeah.
No,
So
sorry,
much, there's so much,
not at all,
like-
man, not at all. Aye,
How about we start just about the music because even today we saw
what age
that.
were you? Aye,
Yeah,
what age were you when you kind of started getting into
Yeah.
that?
So music has like been relatively recent. So I was literally lockdown.
Yeah, nice.
Is when I started making beats because like before that I wasn't really into music
Yeah,
in terms of creating it.
yeah,
Like I hated it at school.
yeah,
right,
and all that
okay.
because it was always
Like music class.
Yeah, I hated
Yeah.
music. It was always like classical stuff. I wasn't
Yeah.
really into that. Like I was
Right.
into like hip hop.
Yeah,
yeah. And I feel
I'd
like you
like-
can't do that playing the triangle.
yeah,
Because I was into like hip hop and metal. 'Cause
Yeah.
metal was probably the first kind of genre of music that I was like in love with, that I listened to
right.
Nice.
like a lot. But yeah, so actually I didn't really think I would ever be able to. I think one of the reasons why I didn't really do music as well was because I didn't think it was accessible.
Yeah,
Like because at school it was like always instruments and stuff.
Yeah,
yeah. That's
So
all you
in
kinda
my
get.
head it kind of just was just pushed to the side, kind of like
Yeah.
football. Like I knew I'd never be able to play football,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I never really thought about it as like an option.
mm-hmm.
So it was kind of the same thing.
Yeah,
Until like lockdown, I was always interested in it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I was into metal. Like at first, I would say. I was so interested how I got into metal. So I was like, probably about 12,
Yeah,
yeah.
maybe 13.
because I love all music, but metal's just. It's not that I don't like it. It's just when I listen to it, it's like I don't quite understand it.
Yeah,
You know, it's
Yeah.
one of them for me. But I've listened and listened, so it's
I mean, my dad used to always get AC/DC, all the kind of classic, kind of
Yeah.
rock kind of stuff like that.
Which is
Yeah,
funny
yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm not really into classic stuff.
Yeah, really. Are you
Like,
more
I'm not
kind
into
of
classic metal.
what kind of
So
people-
it's funny because I got into it through Joe Skrillex.
yeah,
yeah,
Song
yeah,
Bagger.
yeah,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I got into metal through like dubstep.
Wow, there you go.
So like
What?
before that, I just listened to like pop music where I was on the charts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And then like I heard Bangarang and I was like, oh shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And that opened the gates to like any alternative music.
yeah.
And then that's
Such a
when
tune
I just
back in
cut-
the day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
remember
was
that whole
such a
dubstep
tune.
phase
Well,
that
Yeah.
that's
everyone went
all
through. It
that
was
was on
amazing.
school, man. That
Yeah,
all, like,
yeah.
people listened to.
Yeah,
That's
So like
class.
that really opened the gates, and I was like, "Oh shit, other music exists."
yeah,
And that's when I kind of became more into more alternative stuff,
Uh-huh.
like metal, like kind of indie rock stuff. But in terms of metal, it was like new metal, really.
yeah.
So like Slipknot, Korn,
Yeah,
Nice.
Linkin Park,
Yeah,
all that stuff,
Yeah.
and then kind of like metalcore.
uh-huh.
So bands like try to think like Bring Me Horizon,
Mm-hmm.
I quite like them.
See, I like all these names, and see when you
That's
say
what we-
metal, I feel
Yeah.
like it was like harder, like sort of screaming stuff.
Yeah.
What would we
That's
call
more
it?
Yeah,
like
I'm
that.
into
That's like
that though. I'm into
harder.
that. Like
You're into
Slipknot.
that.
Yeah.
See, I just that's what I don't understand what they're saying sometimes. That, you know,
Like that, I feel like to me it's more like a feeling. Like music for me is always a bit of feeling. Rather, like that's the first thing that I go to. And I don't know if it's because obviously I produce, so
Mhm.
obviously the lyrics are important. Obviously I love hip hop, which lyrics are like central to that.
Of course, yeah.
But still, before that, it's always like what it makes me feel,
Mhm.
and that's why metal and like even punk as well. Like I love punk and like grunge especially.
Yeah.
I like Nirvana, like my favorite band.
Yeah.
But I've even got like a Kurt Cobain tattoo
Right.
on my leg.
Nice.
So like it was more a feeling, and I think it was a way for me to release a lot of feeling that I had inside. For example, like for me, obviously the physical limitations meant like I couldn't like do boxing or I couldn't like go out and run.
Yeah,
So,
get
like,
it out kind
I
of
could
thing.
like get it out physically.
Yeah.
So it was like listen to metal was like the channel
Right.
with how I like released
What you
emotion.
meant, yeah.
Get what I mean? It's
Yeah,
how I
definitely.
vented.
Yeah.
So
I get
that's-
that
yeah.
for like how music makes you feel like that, because you're like, I'm like on a bus listening to a song that I love, and you're just like imagining 1,000 zombies coming at you, and you've just got the energy to do them all. That's how it makes you feel.
Yeah,
you know what I
And
mean?
you're sitting on the bus to work.
Yeah, and you're just on a number
Thanks.
30.
That's so funny, man.
Yeah.
So like I got into then I got into hip hop through Linkin Park,
Right.
and like new metal, because obviously rap was a big
Do you think like
influence.
Jay-Z and Linkin Park's collaboration and stuff
See,
helped
I,
that sort
I
of
was
thing?
never really into Jay-Z,
Right.
but it was more just like Linkin Park's their own stuff, like their rap stuff.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
And then I ended up listening to, I can't remember who like the first actual straight out rapper I listened to, but I kind of started dabbling in that kind of area, and then I kind of got into, I guess that's when like the SoundCloud era
Yeah.
started coming in.
Yeah.
So that was the moment where I really like fell in love with music.
Yeah.
Was that whole era. Just the sound, because it was like, to me it was like new metal, but it was like the next generation new metal,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like people still love it. Like new metal,
Yeah.
people hate it, but people also love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
And,
kind of like a
like-
guilty pleasure sometimes.
Yeah, like Limp Bizkit, I think is like one of
Oh, what, like,
the
yeah.
guilty pleasure of most
Yeah.
people. So I feel
Totally.
like it's similar. But it's funny because even though obviously I love hip hop and like I love the old school vibe as well, like obviously Tupac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
big influence on me.
Yeah.
Um,
50 Cent, Eminem and stuff from back
yeah,
in the days.
especially
my thing.
Kanye.
Yeah.
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 Obviously it's a bit later, but
Yeah.
Kanye for me is like probably my biggest inspiration in terms of
Yeah.
an artist, but like as a producer as well.
Yeah, he does like crazy
Like,
stuff that works,
yeah,
and
he's
got
so
it's
alternative,
like
he's
three
like-
songs in one with some of his
Exactly,
music,
man.
and
Yeah.
you're like, wow, that works.
And I really like it because the way he changed the sound of music.
Mhm.
Like if he didn't exist, the music wouldn't sound how it does right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
Get
for
what I
sure.
mean?
A different
For sure.
angle with it.
Yeah.
kinda,
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
So
That's like you were saying earlier, how the sound kind of just comes back as well. Like you were saying there, the metal and stuff like that, and then
Yeah.
you listen to it, and then it does like a full
Yeah, it
circle, and then
recycles,
it, like,
yeah.
kinda recycles.
Yeah.
I
and
think
then
it
the
does
new
man,
age-
like every
kinda
sort
comes
of
in.
30 years,
Yeah,
it just like it changes like what's fashionable.
yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Kind of
and then-
like for example, like Stranger Things
yeah,
made the whole 70s thing come back.
that's
yeah,
it. And then
yeah.
And like now a lot of the 80s stuff is starting to come in.
Yeah.
It's so
and
interesting.
then it's mad that with the relation to that with fashion and stuff like that, how that also, you know what I mean, follows
Yeah,
it, and then
yeah.
it
Yeah.
changes what
Just-
people want to wear.
You need to recycle
Depending
it.
on-
Like
yeah.
like what we were saying before. You were saying that you've sampled things from like the 1940s,
Yeah.
and I was saying like put a Lil Wayne song on, and my gran,
Yeah,
she was like, "Oh, I love that song back in the day," and it's a crazy feeling. It just gets recycled.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
and
for
then
sure.
how the fashion gets recycled. Like Reebok wasn't cool
Yeah.
at one point. It was like the
Aye, I
cheap
know,
chic
man.
stuff, and now you go out and it's like 140 quid for a pair of Reeboks.
I seen Korn did a deal with them recently.
Who did?
No, Korn there was an Adidas they did a deal with.
Um,
Can't remember. It was
Yeah.
literally the last month or two.
There you
Right.
go, and then that
That
probably
was
gives
like-
it that spike again, and
Aye,
then you know what I mean.
exactly.
yeah, and everyone's
Yeah.
back into Reebok. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
It's crazy how like what we were saying earlier, how fashion is like so aligned
yeah,
with like music, and I think it always has been,
yeah.
100%.
especially like in hip hop.
Mhm.
It's always like been a part of it, and metal as well. Like it's always like at school, it was like what you wore was like what kind
Who
of
you were.
yeah.
Yeah, like
who
what
you
you
were.
were with,
Yeah.
what kind of music you listen to, what,
yeah.
yeah.
exactly, man.
I wonder if like things like Gucci would be as big as it was if it wasn't for all the rappers wearing it and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I wonder.
I thought you got to see because Lil Pump.
Yeah,
Can't lie, I was kind of into that track.
Yeah.
I did
Everyone
listen
was
to
for a
that
bit, and then
a
we're like,
lot.
oh no.
Aye, they're just switching it off.
I know, that's
So see when you said that it was Skrillex that got you into
Yeah.
metal, I wonder if that's sort of like your producer brain that was like, you know, because that's like, it was probably some sort of metal music that he just screeched up, playing
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
and manipulating the sounds like you
kinda
were
look at
saying.
it through different eyes, like, you
Yeah.
know, having
Yeah.
a bit of a music background.
Because
You know what I mean?
yeah, I just had a tune to put on, whereas you were like, oh, that
Yeah.
must have came from somewhere and sort
See,
of
I actually didn't
backtracked.
have a music background at that point though, but
Yeah.
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 I think maybe that was like a sign
always
that I
just
had
kinda
a
had it
ear
in
for
you.
it.
Yeah.
Aye, exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, because when you said you got into metal because of Skrillex, that's what I immediately thought. Like you probably heard that he worked on something and made it sound that way.
yeah,
Which is crazy.
I think it definitely like comes through with him. Like, I think it's like not that far away.
Yeah.
Like, it's obviously it's a completely different genre, but
Yeah,
the how it makes you feel
Mhm.
is very similar to metal.
yeah.
Yeah.
And also, he was in a metal band as well, like
Yeah.
before that. So
Do you know the song "Wild for the Night" with ASAP Rocky?
yeah, slaps.
It's mate, what an
I
absolute
love
tune.
ASAP Rocky.
So do I, mate. So do I.
The whole ASAP crew,
yeah,
like they're all
yeah.
sick.
yeah, they really are. Aye, and he goes with Rihanna, so he's won.
Yeah,
He's completed
just
it.
won at life.
Yeah, he's just completed it, mate. 100%,
Completed it,
100%.
I don't know.
So you started. So you were saying that you started in lockdown.
Yeah,
What sort of inspired that? You just found some software and just
pretty much, man. I was just like, obviously, I was finishing uni. I was doing my dissertation, but then I'd done that,
right.
and then obviously I was shielding, so
Yeah.
I had like shitloads of time.
Yeah, like it was proper.
Yeah,
Is it
it was-
anything music related you did at uni or anything like that, or no?
No,
Just-
so I had a journalism degree.
oh, all right, yeah,
that's
and
cool.
then media communications
right.
masters when I was in lockdown, pretty
Right.
much. So then I finished that, and then I had like just loads of time,
Yeah,
and I was like, do you know what? Like, I'm gonna see what software there is because you never know.
yeah.
Then I just looked them out online.
That's just something you wanted to do. You were like, yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
want to try
was-
and.
Because I
What
love
software
music.
do you use for making music? Kind of thing. Google.
So I love like just listen to music.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm just gonna give it a go.
Yeah.
So I just googled around, and I found this one called Soundtrap,
Yeah.
Right.
and it's like all online, and it was free, like up to a point,
Mhm.
and it was like just really user
It's always
friendly.
free up to a point.
Oh, I know that's sense. It was like, continue.
But this was like more. This was, it felt like it was like you could do more while it was free.
Right.
Other stuff, if that makes sense.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So I
yeah.
tried it out.
Aye. They got
um,
you used to it.
Aye, exactly.
Aye.
I tried it out, and then I just like made my first beat. I just fell in love,
Yeah.
Good.
and I think the part of it that I really fell in love with was how you could just get lost in it.
Yeah.
Like I just like it was like I became the beat,
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
and
That's
it
good.
was just so. It was like hyper focus, and I
Yeah.
just went into like a flow state, I guess.
Yeah.
Just
That's
went
good.
into complete flow state, and it's like nothing else existed.
Yeah.
And
That's
I just
awesome.
loved that
So
space.
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It makes you feel like
Yeah,
such a way. That's
just
Yeah.
so, it kind of, it just made me feel at one with everything.
yeah. That's it.
And then I loved it, so I just kept making beats,
Yeah.
and I literally, it's funny. So I kept making beats for a while, and I just thought they were shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I thought they were
Yeah.
shit, and then, but I let like my family hear it, and they were like, actually, this is really good.
You
Yeah.
got something going on.
Yeah, you got
You're
something.
always like your
yeah.
own worst critic, you know.
Yeah,
You're always
in
like
fact.
listening to your own stuff, being like, "Oh no, this
So
is wrong,"
bad.
and then you go, "Actually, it's like really good."
Yeah, exactly.
See what you were showing them? Was it like 1 minute long clips of just beat, nothing over it and stuff? Or it was just
it would just like beats. It
Yeah.
would just like random ones that I'd made. And they just heard me making the camera. They're like, that sounds class.
Yeah. Nice.
sure.
And then so like, then I asked someone who was kind of like, who was he? Oh yeah, he made like videos for people.
Mhm.
I knew he made like music videos.
Yeah.
His name, Omar, that was his name.
Yeah.
Right.
Can't remember. Yeah, Omar. I spoke to him. And I was like, do you know any rappers? I knew he did music videos.
Yeah.
It's like, do you know any local rappers like in Scotland?
Nice.
And I was like, I didn't really think there'd be any really.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they sent me a guy called Kid Robotic.
Mhm.
I don't know if you know him, but
No,
he was kind of quite big in the scene, I suppose, like 10 years ago.
right.
And I sent him the beats, and he was like, they're actually really good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I feel like that really gave me that
That confidence
that
kind of,
confidence,
yeah,
you're like,
Yeah,
oh
excited.
shit,
yeah,
like a rapper
validation
actually
almost,
wants
like,
to
yeah,
use
yeah.
it, and I'm like, shit, like, should I give it a go?
Yeah.
And I was talking to him, and I said more, and he was like, they're actually really good, like, you should actually give it a go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And then he's like showed me a few other rappers
Yeah.
in the scene,
Yeah.
and then I just started sending out beats,
Mhm.
and they were all like, they all really liked them.
That's good.
Nice.
So that's kind of where it stemmed, and then that just really gave me the confidence to keep going.
Did they like put lyrics on it and send it back to you, or is it just
Yeah,
like
they did. So
yeah,
the first track that ever was put out was on Kid Robotics' album. It's called Mazza Freestyle.
Okay.
And AJ47's actually on it. He's
Right,
like
okay.
a
Oh yeah,
don't know if you know him, but
yeah, I know him. Yeah,
he was actually the feature.
yeah.
And that came out on like Christmas Day. And I was just like so buzzing.
Yeah,
Like,
nice.
it's such a cool feeling.
I can
Yeah.
imagine, like, you
Yeah,
know,
man.
that was like, was it with the podcast or anything like that?
Yeah.
Or even the clothes. As soon as you like see it come together and
Yeah.
you're like, you see it out
Yeah.
there, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, it's such a cool thing.
Yeah,
You know
it
what
was
I mean?
class.
yeah. Was it like released on YouTube or Spotify?
It was on
first, or-
Spotify.
Mate, how nice did it feel seeing it on Spotify?
Yeah, that's class.
Yeah, that's a
Going
nice.
into your
such a
own
cool-
Spotify
Yeah.
and seeing your
That
like,
is such a class feeling, especially when like you use it so much.
Yeah, yeah.
And then when you see like your face and you're
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
alongside your favorite artist, you're
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah,
it's gonna
that's
happen.
class. I mean, it's just me and him being fannies on our Spotify. But it's cool. It's cool to see. You know,
Yeah,
it must be
cool,
cool
man.
having like you've picked a nice album cover. You've
Yeah.
you know what I mean. You've put work into it and
Yeah.
seeing it on Spotify. Like you say, you've been
Yeah.
paying for it. Use it every day.
Yeah.
And then it's up there. We're part of it.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
I
it's
know,
cool.
it,
That's
for sure.
mental.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you mentioned AJ40 there. He was at that one. That's the freaking the first time I think I ever like seen you or got to know who you were. Was at that one with M24's gig at
Oh,
was
yeah.
SWG3? Was it? Yeah. So I had
You were there,
EX2.
weren't you?
Yeah. I was at that one. And I had EX2. Do you know Soph?
Yeah, he was
yeah.
on it. He was
Yeah,
on
so
the
he
show,
was actually wearing one of my t-shirts at that, and that was my
Oh,
first kind
so he
of
was.
yeah. That was one of my
I
kind of first
remember
things
that,
that
actually.
that I was
I
doing,
actually
so.
put that show on.
Yeah,
And
that
then
was
I
it. So
yeah,
that's the
it's
first
class.
That's
kind of
cool.
time I ever like heard you,
Yeah.
seen you, and then I spoke to you after that, and then yeah.
How do you even go about putting a show on? Was it at SWG3?
Yeah, man.
How do you go about doing something like that?
Yeah.
Do you message the venue and just be like, I'm thinking about a show?
Yeah, so we've been doing shows. Been doing shows for about 2 years now.
Right.
So is that with your like Hip Hop Scotland?
That's Hip Hop Scotland. So we started about 2 years ago.
Mhm.
And our first show was at the Glad Cafe. So if you know that, it's a really cool spot.
I think I've heard of it.
In the
actually.
south side.
Is
In
it
Glasgow,
Ashton?
yeah.
Ashton Lane or no?
No, it's in the south side.
I see from my
Glasgow
work,
Shawlands.
we do loads of deliveries to loads of places in Glasgow and all that, and I swear I've heard that name, but
Yeah.
I just never.
You probably have. You
Aye.
probably have.
Aye.
So our first one is there, and it was like 120 capacity.
Yeah.
It was quite busy. I think we sold like 40 tickets.
Nice.
Bang.
Which I was quite
That's
happy
not bad. You know what I
with.
mean? First thing you're like,
For
yeah,
a
that's
first show,
amazing. Yeah.
Aye.
So like Hip Hop Scotland actually was running before I got involved.
Mhm.
So before that, they were doing like long form articles,
Yeah.
like reviewing stuff.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
But then I started doing stuff with them, obviously because I did journalism.
Yeah.
So I started doing
right.
reviews
So is that
for
how
them.
you kind of got into?
That's how I got into it.
them?
And I
Yeah,
started
right.
doing reviews for them. And then the guy that was running it was leaving,
Right.
and he asked me if I wanted to keep going with it. And I was like, aye. And then I also had the ideas of doing the shows because I felt like there was a real gap in the scene, especially for shows that were like more multi-genre.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it was kind of split into like the newer artists and the older artists, and
Yeah.
like maybe R&B, and then like artists that like weren't white. And I felt like it was kind of split.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what I wanted to do was like do shows to bring all like the wee scenes together.
Yeah.
So we did that show, and then after that we had a residency at Dyson Sleazy's,
Oh, nice.
and we were doing like takeover events. So I did like an Afro takeover, which is like all Afro artists,
Yeah.
South Asian, alternative, and all like that, just to have one space where people just came together.
Yeah.
Like, from
Give
all the
everybody a
different
shot
scenes.
as
Yeah,
well, kind of
that's it.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it just sort of grew from there. And like it sort of started to build a hype, and people were coming,
Yeah.
and then they didn't seem start to know about it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then it just kept going from there. And then we just kept putting on like bigger and bigger shows slowly.
Yeah.
And then the M24 one was like by far the biggest one we put on.
Yeah,
Nice.
that was really good. That was
Yeah.
It's class.
pretty
man.
packed out. You know, the whole place
Because
was packed out as well. It was-
SWG3's big.
yeah,
That was like 500 capacity,
Right, okay.
Yeah.
which was
Aye.
class. But yeah, going back to your question before, like when you organise a show,
Yeah.
yeah,
normally like, so first you're in contact with like the artist or the management.
right.
Typically it's the management.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're just like back and forth with them, try to organise like a fee or whatever.
Like a date and everything.
Yeah,
and
all that. So,
works
so it's
and-
like
yeah,
a rough
yeah.
date. So say if they're like January, then I go to the venue and get like all their availability or a few venues,
Yeah, yeah.
and then
Whatever one works
send it to
best.
the
Yeah.
artist, and then I just kind of camps like that.
Aye,
But
yeah.
So you think you would go for like the artist first, then get the headline artist, and then work
I
around
would
them?
say like, because I feel like I'm always in contact with artists trying, because a lot of it falls through.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I feel like you don't really just stop doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I'm always doing it.
Just
like
constantly,
every day,
yeah.
Yeah.
trying to get emails, like just sitting out, like sending them out.
Mm-hmm.
Because the only thing they're gonna say is no.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah,
one
yeah.
thing I do
yeah.
is just send.
Yeah.
And I think that's how like the whole producer thing
Mhm.
like went so well, because it's good just to message folk.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I message hundreds of people.
Yeah.
Just sending
that's
them
so
beats.
good.
Yeah, I don't know why I don't do it.
Yeah.
Like I just don't. I don't know. I feel like I'm pestering people, but why?
They're just gonna say no.
Yeah, if
It's
anything,
the worst
I,
thing to
I just
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean-
To lose from it.
for sure. Yeah, yeah.
Especially if you're just like decent.
Mhm.
Like if you're just like, hey, and actually like take an interest in what they do and find
Yeah,
out
don't be
what
like a
they
dick
do.
about it and just
Yeah.
try and
Get what I mean?
yeah.
So,
Oh,
like-
you've got loads of followers. Can
Yeah.
you please? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Exactly, because like
Aye.
when I get this, like I'm just like, nah.
Nah.
I just don't
Yeah.
reply.
That's
Yeah,
it.
So
yeah.
it's always good to like, I suppose, be like, hey, I really like what you do,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, and
Yeah.
then just like talk about it, but don't instantly say like,
Yeah,
can you do this?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Because
exactly.
I'm not
That's it.
gonna,
You're
like,
not gonna
follow
get
it,
anywhere
bro.
being like that.
You
Yeah,
need to
yeah,
like
yeah,
build
I
the
know,
relationship with
yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
That's it for sure.
So we've mentioned before that I mentioned on a podcast before that like there's something about Scotland when we're doing what we're trying to do. We're obviously with our clothing brands,
Yeah.
you with the music and all that. I feel like Scotland sometimes we don't get that. Like even England has more people come out and stuff like that. And I
Yeah.
just wondered if you ever thought like that, or are we just crazy thinking that?
Yeah, like
Because
about
I don't know
squash,
what
yeah,
it is. Like
yeah.
you know what makes me think that? You know Jack and Victor, still game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They've been going forever, but like you don't see them getting paparazzi.
Yeah.
You don't see them. Where are they going? What
Yeah,
happens? Like
They
because
probably
they-
just live in their high-rise flats.
yeah,
like
do you think
normal
so?
people.
Yeah, do you think so? I just wonder because there's not
His
like
son actually is like a DJ as well.
oh, is it?
Yeah.
Right.
I know that.
all right.
There you
Ross
go,
has done
man.
some stuff. Yeah, I know that's it. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
I know
So,
I didn't know that.
yep.
No.
They did like a little promo video with actually Jack and Victor as
Oh,
like
wow.
themselves in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, oh yeah, did you hear about this new?
That's class.
Tune coming out? No, it was actually really
Yeah,
quite
like
cool.
that.
Imagine we had that kind of pill, just like
Yeah.
Jack in a retrospect.
I know,
No,
that's it, yeah.
there we go.
Yeah, lose
oh.
that kind of flat cap and get one of these
Try.
on.
Yeah,
Send them a
to be
message.
fair, yeah,
Yeah,
just,
go.
that's
You
what it
never know.
takes. Aye, just a wee message.
That's it. Yeah, you're right.
Aye.
You never know.
Yeah.
That's what
Never
we're
know,
just saying.
like, yeah,
Ah,
That's what
exactly.
we're just saying. We get them. Get them on the next one.
It's funny.
Guy for sure.
That'd be cool.
Sorry, what was your question?
No, it's just I was saying that like I feel like Scotland sometimes doesn't have like as much promotion as it should.
Yeah, or like
There's
the
a whole-
reach of that. You know what I mean? I feel like
Yeah.
you're doing an amazing job for like
Yeah.
you know what I mean, getting all these young artists up, getting all this,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
like. There's, you know, what I mean, like you were saying, like we were saying earlier, when we all kind of work together and like we'll collab together,
That's
we'll
the way
collab
to
with
do
artists.
it.
It's the way, you know what I mean. That's the way that
Yeah.
I feel like Scotland's gonna get.
I
That.
wonder if you remember like way back in the day when London rappers were coming out. I feel like they weren't that big, and then something happened.
Yeah.
We need that.
We need that.
We need that in Scotland.
We've got that.
You know
There.
what?
yes, yes, it's coming.
I think you know what a lot of it is though. I think
Mm.
it's a lot about Scotland being like mostly white,
Yeah,
and the interest just isn't really there for hip hop as much as it is
Yeah,
some of this more multicultural.
yeah,
could be.
And I think Scotland's getting more and more multicultural, and I think people are actually also didn't think there was many like hip hop artists here.
hmm
So, and I feel like that's also why.
Yeah,
But I think the more like the bigger like artists get, people will notice it more.
yeah. That's always-
But we definitely need like platforms, obviously like Hip Hop Scotland, to give them an opportunity because
absolutely.
there isn't like the platforms there.
Yeah. I feel
You know
like
what I mean?
we're
So
trying to
we need the
do
platform.
this as well. Like have a platform to people
Yeah.
come on, because since I started this, I've messaged so many people, like Pac.
Yeah.
Messaged him, and like I was saying, I'd never been in a music studio before. So I messaged him and I was like, maybe next time you're like recording something, I could come by. And he was like, yeah, no problem. I went in and then I realized that there's so many people out here doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so many.
it's insane.
You just all need to kind of connect together and make this
We
a
need each
massive
other.
thing. You know what I
We
mean?
do.
That's,
There's
that's
feel
so
like-
many cool artists, man.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's a big thing
sure.
why we kind of started this, because it was like we were doing the clothing
Yeah.
brand and we were meeting all these cool people and we were
Yeah.
doing all these things, and we're like, it'd be cool to get an actual
Yeah.
platform to talk about this,
We
to
should
get
talk
all these
about it.
people
That'd
on
be
to do.
sick,
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think it's a cool thing. Really.
yeah.
Yeah, because then hopefully, imagine they listen to this and then they found an artist or whatever. And it was just, I think it's,
Yeah,
I
not
think
just
it's all
listening to
about
this
building
and-
like a scene and like a community. Like community is always kind
definitely.
of at the center of what drives most of what I do, because like we're not gonna get to that point where people know about someone like on our own.
Yeah, definitely.
Like if we're
Yeah.
all working together, sharing each other's stuff,
Mhm.
yeah,
then everybody grows at the same time,
100%.
and there's enough room for everybody.
Definitely. Yeah,
So
you're
I
right.
think that's like what has went well with Hip Hop Scotland, because it's like everybody's grew together,
Yeah,
and I think that's what's really like worked about it.
yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
'Cause
Because
that-
people will come to the shows and they'll be like, that was me one day. And he was in the
Yeah,
crowd
like-
one day. Now it's my time.
Exactly.
Just what you're
And-
saying there, like doing 40 tickets in your first one, and then you're doing
Yeah.
SWG3 500
It's like
capacity.
2 years
like-
later. It's crazy, man.
Yeah,
I
you know
was
what I
not
mean?
even
And then-
had any like external funding.
Yeah,
it was all
that's
just
crazy as
growing.
well.
Yeah.
It's just that,
So-
that's what I mean. That building that community really does matter. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
it's like if you've got that strong community, they'll
support you,
helping
man.
each other.
Everyone will
it's like-
support each other. And
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Definitely.
sure, man.
We've got an event on, I think it's the 17th. It's the
17th
17th.
of November.
It's an exhibition,
Exhibition.
not an
yeah.
expedition.
You said
I
that.
had
You
an
said that.
interview.
Expedition.
Yeah, mate. I
Are
had.
you going up about it?
Yeah, mate, that's what I'm saying. Way to explore. You all know what I meant. So that's on the 17th of November at the Barrows.
Yeah. That's it,
Um,
so
Like the market bit.
Yeah.
Oh, class.
So
I think they have like the Barras kind of arts and design society. They've got their own kind of bit there, I
Is
think.
it bad?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so I
they're
think
cool, man.
yeah.
I've
So
never
the guy
been.
Abby, he's called. He's gonna put it all on. I think, and there's like 15
15 to
different
17 brands, I think
and,
he
like,
said.
Oh, class.
maybe
And
even
all
more.
local
And I think there's
stuff.
like kind of like
Nice,
I
man.
think there's
Edinburgh,
DJs
Glasgow,
coming and food
everything.
trucks and
Nice,
stuff
man.
like that. So
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Um,
Big try come.
even if you're
Absolutely,
free,
please
that'd be
come.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely, please, yeah.
That'd be
Because
cool.
I don't know what it's going to be, but I feel like it's big.
Yeah.
We just did an interview with him at Flip Supply in Edinburgh.
Oh, sick.
It was really cool.
That's where he
just-
said expedition instead
yeah,
of
that's
exhibition.
where I fucked up. Yeah. Oh man, I watched it like twice as well. Like you idiot.
I was like, no, that's fine, mate. You didn't even
I-
notice. You
I
didn't even
know,
notice.
I know. Sure.
It's going to be like a run thing throughout the podcast.
Probably. I
know.
in the wrong words. God damn it. Why did I mention it? But that's going to be a good event. That's going to be cool. And like we're saying, there's 15 to 17 different clothing brands
Yeah,
together.
that's cool.
That are all kind of Scottish based that we would like. Even at that Flip Supply when we did the interview, there was another guy there.
Yeah.
And yeah, so he had Deathbed. I think.
Deathbed is his clothing brand. Yeah.
And it was like somebody else in Edinburgh that's doing the clothing brand, and we were chatting
Yeah.
to him. He's got such a different angle on it. He's trying to like
Completely
teach
different.
himself
Yeah.
all about the fabrics and kind of obviously do the sewing, cutting everything himself and design stuff himself.
He had leather trousers on. It was.
Yeah,
It
that he
was
designed
like,
himself, and
Yeah.
and he's hitting that like kind of motorbike style as well as streetwear style and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So
yeah.
and then it
That
was
was
like
so cool to just hear his mind.
yeah, open
Is that
our
the
eyes
right
to
words?
that.
Yeah.
And then on the 17th, then there being like maybe 15 to 20 different people like that, and all these different kind of like-minded people. And
Yeah.
Abby that's going to put it on.
Yeah.
He's got a brand
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah.
And then obviously, you know what I mean. If yourself come along, all these kind of like-minded people will be there. It'd be a
That's
cool
what
kind
it's
of
about,
community
man.
thing,
It's
yeah.
like bringing together like-minded people.
Yeah.
100%.
And
Yeah.
like people that are like on your frequency.
Yeah.
I think
That's
that's
it.
really important, because then like it's people that you want to be around, and like
Yeah.
you can work. Yeah, like working together obviously is really important. So
That's
yeah,
it.
it's cool.
Yeah, definitely. Because then that's a big thing. But if we like why we wanted to do this, to build a kind of community of everyone kind of coming together, and then we could even put events on, do things like that all together. You know what I mean? We just,
man.
as soon as we all get together and do things like that. So
Yeah.
that's what it's all about.
Yeah. I feel
Yeah.
like as well when we all get together, like we've got a photographer and people are always looking for a photographer.
Mhm.
And when he comes in, they start speaking and they've got business, and the next thing you know, everyone's got minted pictures and everyone looks
Yeah.
great.
That's
That's just what you want from
Everyone
it.
just kind of helps each other out. It's the best
Yeah.
way to be.
That's going to be an exciting event. Please try and come down. It'd be great to
man.
see you there. It'd
I'll
be good.
definitely try it. Sounds cool.
Be quite
Right,
exciting.
so what, like, see over that Hip Hop Scotland, what's the like coolest thing you've probably done with that, or one of the coolest things?
I feel like it's a mix of two things. I feel like firstly, just like building a community and noticing like that it's giving opportunity to artists that. One thing I always want to do and just give opportunities to artists that were starting out.
Yeah, that may not have had it without.
Yeah, and I'll have like
platform.
a balance of like established artists and new artists. So I think just that and building the community and seeing people come together and then them like connecting and then them making a track.
Yeah.
Like, that's so cool.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Like they meet at a show and then I hear a track they make and it's just so sick.
That's
So
cool.
it's just cool
Yeah.
to like connect dots, and I think that's also something that's really important to me, just to connect the dots and like let like many people meet each other, then
Yeah.
you can create something.
Oh man, I
Like,
love
it's
that.
so cool.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's
So cool,
that's
yeah.
exactly what it's about.
I know.
Yeah.
Because you just see it flourish into something, and you're kind of like,
Exactly,
I planted
that's it.
that seed,
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just
And
like they
that's just
connect
nice.
the dots when you connect them all together.
and then you
flourishes
see
into something amazing.
connect it up, and it's a beautiful rose.
That's
Yeah.
so probably that, and then also kind of working with two artists that I like listen to.
Yeah.
Like M24 I listen to.
Yeah.
And other tour artists like we've brought up over the last sort of year is all artists that I've listened to. So that's cool. But then also to be able to do it like independently and then also put like local artists on support is really cool, because I feel like a lot of the bigger promotions,
Yeah.
I won't say any names, a lot of bigger promotions, they don't really, I don't think they really care about the art and like the scene.
Yeah.
Like it's just a business. And
Yeah, money.
it's unfortunate, but it's just the way it is.
Yeah, I
and,
know.
Like,
I know
know
people like that.
It's
and
annoying
stuff,
that
yeah.
it feels like that no matter what it's in, as soon as you get to that type of level, then it just kind of changes into that, doesn't it? You know what I mean?
Aye.
It's annoying that that's
Yeah.
the way
it
things go.
just
Like,
becomes all about the money, and like it's not really about
Anything.
giving
what you
artists
started
a
it for, you know what I mean?
platform.
What the reason that you started it, you kind of lose it, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And that's one thing that
Yeah,
That's
I
what we've
really
talked.
aim not
Yeah,
to be
yeah,
and never
We,
to
we
be.
say that, but soon we'll be like eating lobster and just having someone pick your toes and that. And you're
That's
getting
it.
paid fuck
Stay
all.
humble.
Hopefully not.
Never.
Hopefully don't
Nah,
ever lose
never.
that. Surely not. Surely not. I
yeah.
can't
So
imagine
probably
it.
that, like just putting local artists, they able to put local artists on support.
Yeah.
And then probably so we had in August, we brought Souls of Mischief,
All
show
right, okay.
from I think they're from Oakland,
Right.
Right.
US. They're like quite a big 90s hip hop group.
Right. Okay.
So we brought them to St. Luke's in August. So that was like a really big moment, I feel
Yeah.
like. And then to put 3 local like support acts on it, it just felt like
Give-
such a big moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it almost gives them a bit of a platform that they would never
Yeah.
had there. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
Because
man.
you're setting that up, and then you're like,
Yeah.
you can just get these 3 guys on with like a big. It's amazing.
And
stuff
especially
what you're
because
doing,
they're
honestly.
like such a legendary group, like people put them alongside like Wu-Tang and like Mobb Deep as
Yeah.
like one
And
of
now
the-
you're letting local artists open for them.
yeah.
That's like an
it's
honor.
so cool,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
And also just to meet them and like just chill with them
Yeah.
for like an hour, and they were like just the most normal people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's something that I've really noticed is like the more I've been like speaking to people or like
More kind of high profile
connecting
ones
people
or
that are
what,
like high profile or more established or like more known,
Mm.
they're actually like they're just completely normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
And like I think it's important for people to know that like they're just normal.
yeah.
And I think we like as a society like idolize people
Yeah.
too much.
I know. You see, like,
Like
the
we
people.
put them on a pedestal,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then like I feel like you lose their identity as a person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they're not even human anymore.
Yeah, because you
just
see the
become-
people that see like Michael Jackson or something like that, and they're like fainting and like
Yeah.
just passing out with
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah,
and it's like
yeah,
you think
yeah.
he's just a
He was,
guy.
he
Like,
was one
when
of
you think
us
about it, or-
before. Yeah, he
I
was
think,
just. Yeah.
I think people forget that, and I think that's like been one of the issues with, like, especially the SoundCloud era, or even younger artists that are blowing up. So like Juice WRLD,
Yeah,
Peep, and X, like they all, the pressure and the fame and the money came to them at such a young age,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they just found it hard to cope, and like the fandom and
Yeah.
people idolizing them.
Yeah.
And I feel like no human should have that much attention.
Yeah,
Like,
that
it's
would
not
feel
natural.
I
weird.
think it's
yeah.
like it's not
It's
we're
just
not
not
made for
natural.
that. Like,
Aye.
you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not like a
Not
human
made
brain's
to.
not made for that.
And especially if they're like 17.
Yeah.
That's insane.
really-
so
Yeah,
like,
you're not even.
Your brain's not even developed. You're
Yeah,
still
you're not
learning
even a
everything, and then you have to
human.
basically be
yeah.
this persona. And I bet you,
Exactly,
amount of
man.
people telling you, "Oh no, you need to act like this. Then you need to do this. Then you need to. Oh wait, you need to be here for
Yeah.
this." And like
Yeah,
when you're
exactly,
17,
man.
you're like,
Yeah.
"Go out and play a game of Kirby or something."
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like-
Mate, you do not stop talking about
Oh
Kirby.
man, see for the past 2 weeks,
Honestly,
I have not stopped going on about
For
Kirby.
weeks now, it's been insane, mate. What is it?
Somebody
Slipping it
come
in the
play a game of Kirby,
podcast and
please.
everything. That's crazy, honestly.
Podcast. Coming soon.
Kirby Corner.
Oh god, I know.
Honestly.
So yeah, well we get that plan at some point.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
But yeah, no.
But yeah, I think people
listen.
forget like that they're just human.
Yeah,
And I think that's something that like we really need to start thinking about before like we put artists like on a pedestal.
yeah,
It is crazy though. Like, see, when you hear someone make music, and then you hear the music and you meet them, it's crazy. Like, you make music, and I find that crazy. Like, I would love to
Yeah,
make music,
man.
but I don't know.
Literally one of the like the first
like-
episode, I think you even say that. Like,
Yeah.
I want to know how people
Yeah,
make music.
Like
It's-
process.
it's insane. It's so good. Like, you just wanted to
Yeah.
make something and you made it, and I love that. That's
Yeah.
what we're here for.
That's it,
That's-
exactly.
Exactly, man. Like that's why we exist, is like to create.
100%.
Like that's like
Uh,
our purpose.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So
that's a good-
like, get what I mean?
yeah. I'm sick of wanting stuff. Everyone just wants loads of
I know,
stuff, and I just want to. I don't want stuff anymore. I want to.
create.
I want to create.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
just
what
want
it's about. Though,
yeah,
innit?
for
It's
sure.
Like creating and like
to make something.
putting stuff out, and like the thing that I love about music and making beats as well is that like you're creating something that didn't exist before.
Yeah,
Like no other human could have been in that moment
yeah,
feeling how you were feeling
Yeah,
to
it's
make
unique.
that beat. Even like collaborating with artists, like when I'm like in the studio, for example, with Pac,
Mhm.
like no other two people at that time could make that.
Yeah.
that's it.
That's
know
what
what
I
you mean.
love about it.
Yeah,
It's
that's
so,
cool.
Like
I never thought about
unique.
that.
I know.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
the way you look at,
Mind-blowing.
like, you know, you've got such a good look at like, music and the way
Yeah.
you say, like,
Yeah.
the way
Sure.
it makes you
Yeah.
feel rather than
Yeah.
like what it actually sounds
Yeah.
like and the way all that. And it's
It
so
makes
cool.
it sound like it was fated, like it was fate when you
It
made
is,
that
man.
music.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
like
It
was-
is, and like
It
no
really
other
that's
is.
how it was meant to go at that
combination
time.
of anyone else in the whole
Yeah.
world or any
Nobody-
existence
yeah.
would ever be able to do
Yeah.
exactly that at that point,
Exactly,
which is
bro.
such a
Yeah.
cool, a mad thing to, like,
Aye.
to think of when you think.
It's so cool, and I think generally like spirituality, especially the last 6 months
Mhm.
and year, has really like changed my perspective as well.
Yeah,
Sure.
So like thinking like saying that, for example,
yeah,
it was like something I just realised.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
So
like
I
a
think that kinda
it's
goes
like
hand in
feeling.
hand.
It's more of a
Yeah.
feeling.
I mean, you
Everything's
relate
about
it
a
again
feeling.
back to like the clothes. It's like
Mm.
nobody at any point ever has made this exact design that looks like that, or
Mhm.
your exact design
Yeah,
that you
yeah,
made
yeah,
at that
yeah.
point. It's like,
Yeah.
Wow.
and then when you do it, you're like, you make it, and then it could impact other people. Like
Yeah,
you're
the
making
ripple
that music
effect,
at that
yeah.
moment, and then the amount of people that could impact is
Yep.
crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
It's the
like you
ripple
say,
effect.
the way, yeah,
it can
exactly.
just completely change someone's whole
Yeah.
mindset, and that's
Yeah.
exactly why I
Going deeper
like
than day.
what motivates me. That's
Yeah.
exactly like what motivates me is like when like there's literally nothing better than when someone like sends you a message and says like something you've created has like made a positive impact.
Yeah,
Like that, like nothing can replace that. Like
100%.
no amount of money
yeah.
or like yachts
That's it.
can replace that.
Mhm.
Get what I mean?
I feel like that's
Yes.
why we're all kind of doing it as well. You know, like anyone like us making the clothes to make that person that's wearing that is a
Yeah.
big thing with me. Is like
Yeah, they'll feel
spreading that
good.
positivity and like making them feel when they wear those clothes, go like, I feel good.
I feel
Yeah.
good.
Like, you know, when you
Yeah.
put a
Exactly,
new
bro.
a new top on or
Get a
whatever.
haircut or something.
Yeah, get a
Just feel
haircut,
fresh.
everything. Yeah, I feel
See
good.
what we're talking
So
about
I
this,
just-
right? I
yeah.
walked into my barber's today, and I walked in and they were like, "There's Kush, tell him," and I was like, "What?" And they were like, "A guy came in here wearing a Whooshy t-shirt,
Yeah.
and none of us knew him." And I was like,
That's-
"That's amazing!" Honestly,
It's such
it's
a
the
amazing feeling.
best
Yeah.
feeling
Especially
ever.
when it's
And
like a random that you don't know.
that,
and
that's
you
what I
don't
was
know
saying,
them.
yeah.
Like,
And I was like, "What? Who was he? What did he look like?"
What did he look-
And like it was amazing.
Yeah.
And then I was sitting
That's
thinking,
funny.
like, who wears their like favorite t-shirt to go and get their hair cut though? Like I immediately ripped that off and chuck it in the wash. But and then
Aye,
they
true.
said though some people dress up to go to the barbers. I don't know if you Maybe they were making me feel better.
No, yeah, of course. I mean, yeah. I always put my best foot up.
Shut up.
Let's just run with that.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm going with, because that's what you said.
That's cool. Man.
It was cool though. I was like, yes, the fact that he bought it and he wore it out and people saw it. That's
amazing.
I'm happy,
cool,
man. Yeah. That was
that.
that made my day today. That was so cool. It's cool. That's why we do it. I think just hearing that some random person's walking about in something that I created with my.
And they're feeling
my
good in
mind.
it. And
exactly.
Like, that was you that made that created that gave them that experience. The same as like anything, even like I mean the people at the gym, the PT, whatever, that they're doing that to make you feel good. I feel like we're all just kind of creating something to try and help each
Put
other
more
out.
positive
A bit
stuff
more.
in the world.
Exactly, that's it. You said it well.
So we were watching the BBC documentary.
Oh yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
Amazing.
How does that thing? So how did it come about?
So they just emailed me. It was so
No
random.
way.
Really?
That's so
Literally, they
cool.
just emailed me.
Did they tell you what they saw you off or anything like that?
So I was kind of, a lot of people in the BBC knew me because when I did journalism,
I was about to say journalism.
like I did freelance stuff, and also did stuff for BBC The Social.
Right. Okay.
If you remember, it was quite big. For
Yeah.
I've definitely heard of it. Yeah.
So I did stuff for them, like content,
Right.
like kind of raising awareness, about like my disability and stuff like that. So I was doing that, and I got a feeling that's probably how they knew who I was. But then I also like just sent emails, like every here and there, just to say like what I'm doing. Is there any opportunities? Is there anything happening?
That's cool.
So I
Just
do
put yourself
that.
out there, man.
So I kind of do that every once in a while. But this one, they literally just emailed me out randomly.
That's so cool.
And they were just like,
how scared were you? What were you thinking when that email came through?
I was just buzzing, man. I was so happy.
Damn right.
I was buzzing, man.
Did it have like the BBC like bit at the bottom of the email and stuff like that?
I was like, is this real?
Yeah.
So
click this link or something. Oh no.
Click this link
within 10 minutes, you need to do it.
So that's cool.
Like, I replied to that, and then it just sort of happened. And that was it. It was class.
Yeah.
But I think they heard about my spoken word project that I was releasing.
Right. Okay.
I don't know how, but they heard about that, and then that's what I guess instigated it.
Was that the most recent that EP one that you just came out?
March.
Or no, is that?
It was a while ago.
Yeah.
So it was like the first time I had my vocals like on a mic, like on the track, and it was like between spoken word, hip hop, and like punk.
Yeah.
All right.
It's kind of like a merge. It's like 10 tracks.
Yeah.
And there's like interludes and stuff, but it's really like one of those albums like front to back.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of how I made it.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you mean like you have to listen to it in order?
Yeah,
for sure.
it really
Tells a story.
Yeah, it's definitely
sure.
that kind of vibe.
Nice.
And I got it funded from Youth Music.
Nice.
They're like a charity, like a UK charity.
Right, okay.
That fund like young artists.
Did I just see that you won an award from them?
It was just last week, man.
Yes.
Yeah,
Congrats.
cheers, man. Thank you, man.
Nice.
I was really hyped, man, especially because it was like UK wide.
That's amazing.
So,
That was amazing.
Yeah,
That's class.
That was for social action.
Social action.
It was for, so
Nice. So is that just all the kind of stuff you've been doing?
yeah,
working
kind of
on
like
and-
the like raising awareness
Yeah.
for like I guess like the disabled community.
Yeah.
But like the content I was doing on social media.
Yeah.
And also the petition that I did last year.
I think we heard about
I
this.
think
Is that
that was in the documentary. I think.
Yeah,
actually.
it was.
the ramps on stages and stuff?
Yeah, trying to get more access for
Access.
disabled artists.
Yeah.
And that like got covered by like a bunch of newspapers and like the BBC and stuff. So
So do you feel that?
I was like for that pretty
Nice.
much. So
That's cool.
yeah, man, it was sick.
It's mad the thing you're doing. You know what I mean? You're doing that
Thank
with
you,
the same thing. You're doing that's for the up and coming artists. You're doing that. Yeah, man.
Appreciate
Really
that,
respect it, man. It's cool.
Yeah,
really
thanks,
cool.
man.
How old are you?
I'm 27.
27. No,
Yeah, I'm 28. November the 8th.
Nice.
So,
there you go.
couple of weeks.
There you go.
Don't quite me to that. I'm useless.
When you remember November 17th, when you remember a wee gift for you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Aye, so 28. So I feel like I've experienced quite a lot though in that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, honestly, I feel like even just from your Instagram, you've done more than somebody that's like 16-year-old would have done. You know what I mean? Most people,
I
it's just
just
the way.
like live life, man, to the most.
Yeah.
Max, like it's just something that I don't know if it comes from I think a lot of it does come from like growing up with a disability, like I mentioned in the documentary, the kind of life expectancy thing.
Yeah.
I think like that is actually allowed me to live life more.
Yeah.
Because like I know it could just everybody should know that life can just go in a flash.
Exactly. Yeah.
100%.
Get what I mean? So
yeah.
It really just helped me to live life and like do exactly what I want to do and just prioritize.
Yeah.
So I just want to do what makes me happy all the time.
Yeah, 100%.
That's what it's all about.
100%.
Get what I mean? And I think more people, I wish more people knew that we're always just so close
Yeah,
to
for
death.
sure.
So like,
Just do, because what you've done, a lot of people will live their whole life and not do and regret.
yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean?
Yeah, that's it.
And
Yeah,
that's
then
that
like,
must be the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
When you
Exactly,
get
man.
older and you're like, fuck,
You've
I
got
just kept
regrets,
working that job and didn't.
You weren't happy the whole time.
Yeah. So
Exactly, man.
taking the leap's quite a scary thing and
It
doing
is
your own
scary,
thing.
man.
Yeah, really scary.
Putting yourself out there, putting yourself
Yeah.
on social media and stuff.
So even that first video posting of like my face in it or anything like that, it's just like you're
Look
so
at you.
worried.
Look
Oh,
at you.
look,
Yeah,
you're
but-
so,
yeah.
you're an idiot. So look at yourself, like, you don't post this. And then
It's
you're like, you know
definitely
what?
very important to say that it's not easy, man.
Yeah,
Like,
It's not.
It's not.
Yeah.
And I think, like, it takes a lot of time to build up to that.
Yeah.
To, like, build the confidence because, like, growing up, I wasn't really a confident kid.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, I didn't really have many friends and stuff like that. So, like, I always kind of felt kind of isolated.
Yeah.
But that kind of allowed me to know myself more.
Yeah.
And I feel like in the long term, it's actually kind of helped me
Yeah.
to...
Kind of reset, kind of thought,
Yeah,
right, what do I actually
exactly,
want? How
yeah.
think about your own happiness and that, and then
Yeah,
there you
exactly.
go. Oh, that's quite right. That's amazing. That's what it's all about.
So you're working on anything new now?
Yeah, so I released like so often. I released like every 3 weeks or something.
Right, okay.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
keep
much.
at it, man. That's what it's
So I
about.
Just
released a
finding-
track
Uh-huh.
last week with a guy called Handyman,
Yeah,
which was like an Afro artist.
nice.
So I released that. But yeah, I'm just always working on music, man. Like I think I've got like 40 tracks or something just sitting
Yeah,
that aren't out yet, just with loads of different
Nice.
artists.
You need
so
that motivation.
I
You
know,
need that,
that's
like,
it. We need to be on it
backlog.
like
That's-
that.
yeah,
It's
it's
good to have the backlog, man, because it means like, say, if I'm just not feeling it one day,
yeah,
like
definitely.
everything's there anyway, so it's not like
You need
I
to
need to
much.
keep
You can
doing
just
it.
kind of yeah.
so I could probably have like 6 months off
Uh-huh.
and I'd still have
Still
it
just
be,
consistently
to
there.
release. So I just in the studio quite a lot, just with, like every week pretty much.
Yeah.
with
Is that
different
studio
artists.
like your usual
Your
studio
house,
you go
or-
to, or is it at
Yeah,
your house?
so
or
I
is
make
it-
beats at home
Yeah,
and then I got the studio to record,
right.
like, because I've not really got a mic and stuff.
Yeah.
So I got the studio up to standard to record,
Oh, okay.
like
Yeah.
just vocals.
I've
and-
seen them. Yeah, quite a lot on Instagram as well. Up to standard.
Yeah,
So,
they're really cool. It's a really cool studio, man.
Mm-hmm.
So I go there to record vocals and I just do sessions with like
Nice.
loads of different artists and
That's
stuff.
cool. So you're in the studio with the artist physically quite a
Yeah,
lot
I
of the time.
definitely prefer that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than what, sending just audio
Yeah,
files
so
between.
before that, like, and I still do that now, like, I would send them beats.
Yeah.
And they might, like, send something back.
Yeah, like just a
I-
voice note over the beat or something.
Yeah, or they'll record it there, wherever they are,
Yeah.
and they'll send it. And then, but I definitely prefer being in the studio because I feel like the track turns out so much better because, like,
You're there,
I
the
can
chemistry.
adapt the beat as
Yeah,
well, and
right.
they're like, there's bits that sound better with the vocals.
Yeah.
That I can like shape the beat around it.
Yeah.
So that it always sounds so much better
Yeah.
for sure.
That's cool.
Because you're with them, you can tweak it as it goes.
Yeah.
I'd love to see the process, man.
You should come through.
I would love
Yeah.
to. I would
Definitely
love
come
to.
through.
Hell
That'd be
yes,
sick.
I
I'll
would
let
love
you know
to.
when I'm there. It's
Yeah.
in Glasgow, like near Central.
Yeah.
So it's really easy
that'd be
to
cool,
get to.
yeah.
Aye, just to see it
That'd be
all in
sick.
action. Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd
man.
be cool, man. I'd
I
love
will
to
come
come by.
through.
Hell yeah, let's do
Yeah,
that.
that'd be
Yeah.
sick.
Do that, yeah. You're always there, so there's plenty of opportunity.
Yeah, no,
man,
that's
exactly.
it.
I'm
Yeah.
Releasing one every
Yeah.
week. You're here.
Yeah.
You must be always there.
Yeah.
Because it's cool.
Yeah.
I would love to see somebody sitting there and then warming up to the
Just the
mic and
process.
go into their
Yeah.
character and stuff. I like
It's cool.
like live music's better than anything in the world.
Yeah, it's
you know.
good, isn't it?
So seeing somebody creating would be nice.
Have you heard of Tash Sultana?
She's so sick.
So
I've
sick.
not.
Oh.
She kind of blew up in lockdown. That's when I started watching her.
Yeah.
Right.
So I actually seen her at the Usher Hall in about
Cool.
I don't remember, it was probably about a year ago or something like that. But honestly, it was
She's
so
really
mad the
good,
way
man.
she's
The
got like
pedals and stuff.
yeah, all the
Sick.
pedals on the floor, and she would
Oh,
like literally be out with like her feet just like
Yeah.
doing like a wee
And then a wee
thing
something
and then
else, and then,
relaying
yeah.
it and everything. And honestly, it's
I think what's cool about her is that she does like rap, she sings, she does like rock, she plays like every instrument.
yeah.
So sick.
That
Nice to
jungle
check it
song,
out.
that's my favourite.
Ah, yeah,
Jungle.
that's good, yeah.
Oh, honestly,
I've
I'd
probably
butchered
heard
it if I was
but
going. Yeah, I've definitely played it.
Yeah, I would have heard it if you like. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
so-
class, man.
Yeah, that's too good. So I love that. It's cool how you can, you know what I mean, just take that one little snippet and get it on like
Exactly.
repeat and doing that, and then taking the next one,
Yeah.
and then so I'd love to see behind the scenes of that.
Man,
I absolutely want to.
yeah.
I'd love to see it all happening. I'm just checking
Yeah.
over.
So I'm working on I'm working on quite a few stuff that's coming out before the end of the year.
Yeah.
Probably like 3-4 singles,
Yeah,
stuff like that, and then I'm working towards an album next year,
yeah.
which is a wee exclusive.
Oh, there we go.
Very
Exclusive.
good. Yeah,
So a
exciting.
wee like mixtape at the end of the year,
Nice.
which is probably gonna have like 15 tracks.
There you go.
We're hoping to have like 3 artists on each track, like
Nice.
3 different artists. So it's gonna be class. It's gonna have like 40 plus artists.
Wow. So
So
I
I'm
was
really
thinking
excited
there,
for that,
3
man.
artists per track.
About 15.
Yeah. A lot of people. That's what you need though. That's
Around
what we're
Christmas
talking
time,
about.
we Michael Bublé special.
Christmas album.
Yeah, all the artists on.
Yeah. So I'm buzzing for that. And obviously I'm producing like the beats
Yeah.
for it. So it's gonna be like a mixtape. So
That's cool.
constantly working on the beats, and I
Yeah.
can imagine.
I
yeah,
bro,
it's
every
non-
day, man. That's
yeah.
like, see, when I started,
Yeah,
I said to it, because I just wanted to get better at it.
yeah,
So I said to myself that I'd make like a beat a day.
yeah.
And pretty much since I started, I've probably averaged about a beat a day.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
think that's why I've gotten like to the level so fast.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's what
And
happens.
that's even
when you
like, it's
practice.
just an hour a day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, and then it's just built up.
Yeah.
definitely. You
Get
know,
what
over
I
time,
mean?
it just kind of compounds. What did it say? Like 10,000 hours or anything in your
Yeah,
professional, or
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
what is
yeah.
it? Yeah, something like that.
I
So
wonder
you
if
hit
like
that.
like if somebody said to you, right, every day for 1 hour you're going to learn Spanish, but you didn't want to do it, it would be so hard. But see,
Yeah.
if you wanted to do it, you're right, 1 hour a day for
if
however
you're
long you
enjoying
would
it,
learn
then
it. Yeah,
it's not.
yeah.
It's
Aye,
nothing, like,
exactly.
you know what
But
I mean?
if it's something like, I always think that it's, you really want to do something,
Mhm.
that you'll make time for it.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
no matter what's going on,
that's very true.
you'll find a way.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Get what I mean?
That's
So,
it, yeah. If you really want to do it, then you know what I mean. You'll move things
You'll
around.
prioritise,
Yeah,
get what I
exactly.
mean?
You'll prioritize.
so,
That's it.
Yeah, man.
I know that's something I'm pretty bad at, taking so many things on and then trying to
Yeah.
do
Bro,
everything.
it's so
Yeah,
hard.
it's-
Like when I do that so much, like I take on so much, and
Yeah.
then I'm like, oh shit.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's-
But then we always find a way and just make it work. Do you know what I mean?
I know, man.
Always just like
Aye.
by prioritizing. Do you know what I mean? Getting things
I
done.
do think there's something like about, I guess, a society that sometimes we forget to like, we need to just rest.
Yes,
Like
yeah.
we can't be going all the time. Like
Yeah.
we need that rest so we don't like burn out and just look after ourselves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like
definitely.
look after our mental health. I think
Yeah.
that's so
I
important.
feel like I forget that sometimes because I feel like
I feel like everyone does, you know.
almost
just-
guilty when you're not posting something or something like that. Don't know if you ever get that feeling.
Yeah, I
You-
think
you
that's
do.
just like, yeah, I think it's like, there's almost like going deeper, it's like a shame because you feel like I shouldn't be doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like you feel guilty.
Mhm.
I think that's definitely a thing because we're always like, as a society, we're always like searching for the next thing.
Yeah.
You're right.
But I feel like we need to remember that,
We've got it good.
yeah, we don't need to keep,
Just need to take a minute
searching.
sometimes. Or,
get what I mean? Like what we have is good. So like it's not always about the next thing.
Mhm.
It's like thinking about like being grateful for the now
Yeah.
instead of being like, I want that or something from the past I regret.
Yeah.
Get what I mean? That's
Just
like
enjoying the now.
exactly, man. Like that's what we should be doing.
Yeah.
You're so right. So right. Worrying about anything's so pointless. It's not going to change anything.
Aye, exactly.
It's
bro.
not.
Like,
Aye.
it's literally not going to do anything.
It's
Yeah,
not, mate.
exactly.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
gonna pan out the way it's gonna pan out, and
Yeah.
you
And
die
I
if you want to,
think,
you die
like-
if you don't. That's how
Aye,
Bob Marley say that. Or something.
exactly. man. And I think the only thing like as well that you can control is like the now,
Uh-huh.
and like how you react to things in the now.
Yeah.
Literally, we can't control anything else.
Yep.
That's it. Only worry about the things you can control. You know what I mean? I think people worry so much about the things they can't control.
Even just worrying about controlling your reaction.
Yeah, that's something you can control. You can control your reaction to it, or you can control
like how you adapt to like if something happens. Like how you adapt is the only thing, or how you take it and move forward.
Yeah, that's the only thing we can really control. You know, that situation's happening, no matter what you do, it's happening, and then you know what I mean. It's how you deal with it.
And also, everything that happens like is for us to learn.
Yeah,
like even if it's a bad thing, like if you think about it, we can't really lose.
Yeah,
because everything that happens is like for us to learn.
Yeah, I know, but at the time,
improve.
oh, how tough is it?
You're
like, this is, oh, no way is this.
You don't see that till later on. Yeah,
no,
but it's like kind of trying to remind yourself in the moment, like, oh, but this, or like, I'm generally quite a positive person.
Yeah.
So I always kind of find a positive somewhere.
Yeah.
And I feel like there always is.
There always is.
There has to be.
See if you look for it, there always is. See if you don't look for it, then that's how some people don't see it. You know what I mean? Because
if you end up being like pissed off and going in a bit, and then like.
And that's
being upset for 2 days. And then like
you just regret it later.
Exactly.
You just regret it. And then you do it anyway. Aye.
It's so funny, bro, how like
humans are just,
just so
such
weird,
mad, amazing brains. They do so many amazing things, and then they do that.
Stupid things. It's actually hilarious sometimes.
I know. When you think about it, some of the worries you've put upon yourself that, you know, I think, I can't remember what it was, but there was some percentage of like the amount of worries that you worry about that don't even happen.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Bro.
98% of the worries you have are things that don't even happen anyway. And it's like, what was I worrying about that?
Why haven't we evolved that out of our minds? Yeah, that's so pointless.
Maybe that's another few hundred years down the line from us.
we need to start eating grass again or something.
We need to roll back, man. I think we do need to roll back a bit.
Yeah.
I feel like technology is like, not even technology, but just like people wanted stuff.
Yeah,
like
I know what you mean.
The material thing is just went too far.
I heard that there's more concrete in this world now than there is. Fuck knows.
That was a great
sorry.
Probably like trees or something.
It's just something like that. There was like, there's so much. We'll edit this out.
This is staying.
It was something like that. That there's so much now man-made materials.
Yeah.
That it's like. As much as trees or something, we'll go with that.
That's crazy though, because like I think we just need to go back to nature a bit.
Yeah.
To be honest, like,
do you think like
went too far with it?
See how there's plastics and stuff in this world that can't be destroyed?
I know.
Does that like where is it going to go? Is that the
that's
issue?
a big question.
Yeah. But it was here on Earth anyway, so how can it?
Nah, we made it from other things.
I know, but
you know what I mean. We took other things that were fine and made something that wasn't fine.
Like, see with the whole rubble thing, where's it all going to go? Where's it all going to?
Where's it gonna go?
Where's it gonna go?
Well, we've doomed ourselves.
That's like a 2 a.m. thought.
I know,
yeah, I know, mate. I know. I don't know what happened there.
We're getting into it now. We've been going a bit too long here. What's happening? That's exactly on the hour mark. It starts getting weird.
That's funny.
It's like can't just all sink to the bottom of it.
I know, man. Like I don't know what's gonna happen. To be honest.
See if we just keep creating cars. Although I think metal's fine. You can recycle that quite well. But plastic.
What, into what? Into big buildings and then just more of them?
Newer cars or something.
Round and round.
Yeah. Until what?
Yeah.
Until when?
You worry.
I think we just need to look after the planet, man.
I know, that's it.
Like,
yeah.
We've just sort of went so far away from like where we started.
Yeah, see what like when we started and what probably we were meant to be like. You know what I mean? Back then, like, living off the earth and doing that and like vegetables and everything. You know what I mean? And then they start building things that destroy.
And we live in houses. Why do we wear shoes all the time?
That's it. Because there's concrete everywhere now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Give me my grass back.
Yeah. Can I get my grass back?
Yeah. If it was grass everywhere, we'd be fine. Bit of mud. That's all right. You know what I mean? Now you're like, glass. Where did that come from? From somebody.
Yeah.
That's why we can't wear.
A bit of mud. You need to wash your hands now. What are we?
Maybe that's the issue. Maybe just too much concrete. Maybe that's
the problem.
We need a new picket sign. Stop the concrete.
Never mind the oil. Stop the concrete.
Bring back grass.
Bring it back.
Bring my grass back.
Yeah, we need it. That's what our appendix is for. Now it's a useless organ.
Is that what it's for?
It's for
just like
eating grass, digesting grass. Yeah, that's why.
Didn't know that.
There you go.
There we
Might
go.
have some grass with tea.
Just
Try it out, maybe
Ignite
useful.
my thing. Yeah,
I know, man.
It's funny.
Start garnishing your food. Bring it back.
I'll have just garnish, please.
That's funny.
Oh god. But,
On to the nonsense. So I think that's probably about time.
I know, honestly, that's an hour we've been going.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Have-
thank you so much.
Unless
man,
you've got
honestly.
anything,
Yeah.
any questions or anything for us.
Trying
Yeah.
to think of
I
anything.
know, Zen, we've not really covered.
That's
I mean,
what I'm.
we've really
Nah, that's
kinda-
what I'm thinking.
It's always that way.
Do
We've
you
got
know
a
what I
list
was
of
going to
all
ask? Is
Aye, go for it.
so ask Superman.
Yeah.
Is that producer beat or just an Instagram handle and then Superman on the
Okay,
beat?
yeah.
Is that
So it's Ask Superman and just my social media handles.
right? Okay,
And then my actual producer name is Superman on the beat.
nice.
Right.
So that's
That
like
makes
my
sense.
Spotify.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
So I like release like collaboration
Uh-huh.
with artists. Kind of trying to think. So like Metro Boomin,
Yeah.
the producer.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of he was like a huge inspiration for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the route I'm going down.
Mm-hmm.
So like releasing with artists.
Mhm.
So actually interesting why like I decided to do that. I just felt like there wasn't enough like disabled artists that were visible.
Yeah.
And disability just isn't really visible in the music industry like
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah,
not.
you're right.
Like when was the last time that you can't even think of a disabled artist in your head? Maybe like a few,
Mhm.
like
I can't.
Stevie Wonder,
Yeah,
Right
yeah.
there you
and
go.
then
Yeah.
there's a handful. But
Yeah.
after that, there's like none,
Yeah.
and
You're
that's
right.
something that really motivated me just to be more visible. So that
Yeah.
like other disabled people could see, like growing up.
Mhm.
Like if
Yeah.
I saw myself, I'd be like, "That's so cool!" Like
Yeah,
that
that's
means
because
I
like
can do it.
you probably a lot more people will start getting into it now because of all the things you've been doing,
Yeah.
which is such an amazing thing. You know what I mean?
man.
It's,
Yeah, that's what's
so
really
cool.
important to do.
That's what it's all about as well. Feel that you've motivated
Yeah.
someone to do it.
and the
Yeah.
name,
Change their life as well for it.
yeah,
Because I'm sure you said in the documentary that music absolutely changed your life and
Yeah, man.
really helped you out. So that's nice.
Kind of like going back to what we were saying about how heavy metal allowed me to release
Mm-hmm.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
my
yeah.
feelings and emotions. I think it really goes back to that and like the feeling of music
Mhm.
and like how it makes me feel
yeah.
is kind of what did that for
Mm.
sure.
Rather than just like how it sounds, it's like more how
Yeah,
you actually feel when you.
exactly. But I think that's why like a lot of like the sort of new vibe of like hip hop and like trap,
Mhm.
people really don't like it. Like the melodic or auto-tune it, or you can't
Mhm.
really hear the vocals. But
Mhm.
I'm really into that. Like I
Yeah,
really
yeah.
like it because as long as it makes me feel something,
Yeah.
get what I mean? Like sometimes it doesn't even matter what they're saying.
Yeah.
It's just like the feeling of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that completely.
So
Yeah.
But I feel like you can listen to music so many different kind of ways. Like, you know what I mean? If I'm sitting and working, I've got some music on, it's like you're not really taking it in. I'm working
Yeah, you're
at work
just-
and
yeah.
that's just kind of there.
Yeah.
It's
Whereas,
just
you know,
making
if
you
you're-
feel calm.
Yeah, you know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Yeah.
But then if you're like maybe out, you know what I mean, with friends or whatever, and you're listening to it and you're actually listening to it,
Mhm.
like sometimes if a new song comes out and we're like, what did he just say there? Like
It's so
you
cool,
break
like-
down the bars and all that.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
actually
yeah.
are taking in. You're like, what?
see,
How
that's
is-
also what I love about hip hop is that like you can listen to it so many times.
Yeah. And find something
Like
new.
it's so
Here's-
funny because talking about like one when you can't really hear the words.
Yeah.
But also I love hip hop where it's just like all about the words.
Yeah.
Because you can listen to it about 1,000 times
Yeah.
and still like you hear something you're like, oh shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Like a
even Eminem
reference
was
or
probably the
something.
biggest one
Yeah.
for me in that.
Uh-huh.
Like when I first started listening to any type of rap music, it was probably Eminem,
Yeah.
and it was just like the way that he puts together
Manipulates words and
manipulates
stuff
it,
that's
honestly.
so they fit in and stuff like,
like
that.
rhyming
Yeah.
orange with stuff and this and
Yeah.
that and everything he
Yeah.
does. It's mad. He's
Yeah.
yeah.
He's my favourite.
He's too good.
I love him.
When that last album came out, we were
I know.
Did you like it?
It was. I actually think it's so good
It's quite
at the start,
controversial.
and then see. Like, I don't know, near the end, I don't know if it kind of
Yeah.
it gets a bit too personal and all that.
See,
kind
I
of
wasn't
stuff, but I
a
don't
big
know.
fan of it, like, because it's controversial, but see, like, anything after the last 4 albums, I really don't like.
Nah.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
just think he's trying too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I
we
get
all
what you
know
mean.
he can rap.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's not
Like he's got
news.
something to prove almost, or like
I like just make
he has not,
the
he's-
music you want to make and chill.
Yeah, I completely get you. I
Get what
get
I
you.
mean?
Have you seen like the stuff he did with like AI and stuff? He's like
Oh,
arguing with
yeah.
himself from like
That's
Slim
so
Shady
bad.
days. Yeah, I know.
I know,
I
that's
know.
what I mean, it gets a
Because it's
bit-
like, mate, you're talking to yourself about yourself, and
Like, maybe in like
He's got an angle.
2001, that would have worked.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's just not it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with what you're saying. Like I see it now. He is trying real hard, but he's He is still
I
awesome.
rated the first. Yeah.
He's still, he's like, there's no denying he can rap. Get what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think on that album, I think there was like, I wasn't a huge fan. There's 3 tracks I liked. I liked the one with JID. That was sick.
Yeah.
And then I liked the 2 like emotional ones.
Yeah.
Like, I actually really liked them.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it was Temporary.
Yeah.
I listened to Temporary so many
Yeah.
times. Because that was the one
See,
about
that's
his
it,
daughter.
yeah. I feel like you'd feel that better and you'd take it and you'd look at it at a different angle than I would have listened to it. Which is,
I don't even recognize the names of those ones. But see, to be fair,
I think it's the last 2.
I wouldn't even be able to tell you the ones that I liked. What's the one with the medicine
Jelly Rolls
cabinet?
Class.
Medicine cabinet.
For the cabinet. I can't even remember the name. But I was like, we had a 70CL one time. We got absolutely mashed just listening to it. It was so much fun. We were like reading lyrics and that off the screen. It was good fun. He's class.
There's no denying, like, he's like, and he can rap.
Yeah.
Like, you can't not say that.
Yeah.
It kind of goes back to the feeling thing.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't really make you feel.
Yeah, I feel like at the start, like his music right at the start, you feel that. You know what I mean? You really feel that. Like some of the music you had there was
just so out there for that time.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think he changed a lot of the kind of American hip hop at that time, didn't he? You know what I mean?
I think he really allowed people just to express themselves more openly without being worried.
Yeah.
Get what I mean? I think he really opened the gates for people just to talk about whatever they felt.
Because he was like the first white one as well, pretty much.
Yeah, he really did pave the way, man.
Yeah, he was probably just, everyone was
especially
like, wow,
coming out of like
you
the
can
kinda,
be anything.
Rap battle kind of scene as well. Like,
Yeah.
you wouldn't got much white guys doing that kind of stuff.
8 Mile's the best thing that happened to humanity. So
I think he's the best like white rapper of all time.
Of all time, definitely Eminem, without a doubt, for me.
I'd say Matt Miller.
I forgot about Matt Miller.
You throw that curveball.
Yeah, Matt Miller was amazing.
He's amazing. That's
he's so good.
Josh from the last podcast.
Yeah,
we had one of our guests on the podcast. He was saying that he pretty much lived his life by Matt Miller's life. Because when the
or
first
not lived
album,
it by it, but it was like the way it worked. Like each album came out. It was like
that's the stage he was going through, and then when
Yeah.
there's loads of drugs involved, he was in that stage, and then this and then that, and I was like, wow, that's beautiful.
That is really cool.
Yeah, he followed Matt Miller the whole way through.
I love Matt Miller, man.
Yeah,
she's just so he was just such a well-rounded artist. Like he could do everything.
And then once again, bringing it back to the fashion as well. I think he was the one that Represent.
Yes,
he was the one that propelled Represent. So basically, Represent was like 2 kind of brothers that started as like a uni project and doing their bits, and then I think what propelled them was Mac Miller was doing a show at, don't know if it was in Manchester, it was in England somewhere, I think, or something like that, and he basically was like, messaging on Instagram, can you wear my stuff, please wear my stuff to this, and he was like, yeah, shoot me a few pieces, did it, and then I think he even changed like his profile picture on Facebook to something that had that in it, and things like that, and it was like, I think that just took them from the, you know what I mean,
there's so many times
level,
that's happened, man.
Yeah,
like there's so many examples. Have you heard of the clothing brand called Revenge?
I don't know.
So it kind of blew up in the whole SoundCloud era because Juice WRLD wore it and like X-Tentacion wore it.
Right.
And ever since then they just blew up, and now they're like one of the biggest like alternative clothing brands like in the world.
Revenge.
Just from that one moment, they're really cool, man.
Yeah. I'll check that out. Yeah.
It's kind of more like the aesthetic is kind of like more metal-y.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I watched a documentary on Juice WRLD not that long ago. I loved him.
Yeah, I loved him, bro.
Yeah, he was so cool.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite artists. Man.
He's like that freestyle he can do, like even the one with the Eminem beat on it. Yeah, you see that hour one with
alternative as well. Like he's quite crazy. He's out there.
I really liked it. Man. He was class.
Yeah,
he was really cool.
It is cool how fashion and music just have that, like kind of.
I wonder where it started though.
I know.
Yeah,
maybe
looking.
I suppose it was kind of like. Again, I feel like metal had a big thing because.
Yeah, that was
like people that were into metal had like an aesthetic.
Yeah, like you have your big chains or your black clothes.
Exactly. Yeah. And like even like emo, I think had a big impact on like that as well.
Yeah, that changed it, and then bringing in like neon colors and stuff like that, and doing that kind of thing. And then they had their whole thing. And then you get like rappers maybe wearing the baggy clothes.
80s when it happened with punk and all that as well, and they were in like the tartan skirts, and Vivienne Westwood took off and introduced all that.
That's true. Actually.
That was all to do with music, Sex Pistols.
And then it feels like every big thing of music that took off then allowed the brand to take, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
when you actually think about it right
they're
now,
actually so aligned.
Yeah,
like it's crazy.
That is crazy, and like that's what sort of like route we wanted to go down, and we've been going down, as artists and
that's cool,
music,
man. Because I feel like there is like like in Scotland, I feel like not many brands have kind of did that with the local scene.
Yeah,
like I can't really think of a brand that's like associated.
This is it. Yeah, so it's all
really.
Yeah, so then we're trying to help out with that, and then these artists blow, we blow, everything's amazing. We all help each other. This is what the community. We're circling back into the community thing. If we all help each other out, so much better chance for all of us to kind of come up together.
We don't need to wait for like a big artist or someone that's high profile to help us.
Exactly, that's it.
Just do it ourselves.
We do it ourselves.
Then we don't need like, for example, a Matt to wear who need to blow.
Yeah, 100%. We just need Sanjeev wearing it.
Beautiful.
That's it, man. But honestly, it's been amazing, man. I really enjoyed it. I feel like we could go on for like hours here.
I think we could just talk about hours. Bro.
That's it. And you were saying you've got your podcast as well, don't you?
Yeah, but I've got the Hip Hop Scotland podcast. So it's not. It kind of just depends. It doesn't drop like regularly.
Yeah, just
it's kind of like every month or two.
Yeah,
and it's called Hip Hop Scotland podcast.
Yeah, it's just
Hip
interviewing
Hop podcast.
Hip hop artists and stuff. And you can follow Hip Hop Scotland on Instagram.
Yeah, nice one.
hiphop.scotland and like. But I'm just trying to get more people to come in.
Yeah, definitely.
And, like, tickets aren't that expensive. And it's like trying to get more local people that maybe aren't into the music just to come for like the community and the vibe.
Yeah. And then you never know you do that.
Artist and then get what I mean.
You do that one night and then you're like, this is actually really amazing. You know, somebody that might not be into it if they come along once, and you'll be like,
because I'm really trying to get like more people, because a lot of our audience is like people in the hip hop scene. Like other rappers. But I'm trying to get more into like just the mainstream public so they can just come along. Just to
the minute you ticket anything, but you have to if you're hosting these things because people don't want to pay.
No,
it's so hard to sell tickets right now, man. Like, see, as a promoter, it's so hard to sell, and like a lot of the time, people buy tickets on the door. So like in the run up to a show, it's really hard to know what to do because I feel like on the edge. Then you don't know whether to go ahead with it or not. So it's so hard. So I really want more people just to buy tickets. Even a week before. Like that helps independent promoters so much.
Gauge the numbers, engage what's that.
Exactly, man.
Well, go to Hip Hop Scotland on Instagram and buy those tickets,
buy all the
please.
tickets.
All right, well, this is another episode of Kush and Cal's Corner.
It is.
Sanjeev.
Honestly, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much.
Sharing everything, man.
I really enjoyed it.
Cool.
You guys are really killing it, so just keep it then.
Thanks so much. I appreciate that a lot, man. That's it. You too, man. Honestly, you're doing amazing, so thanks again.
All right, happy days. Thank you so much, man.
Sick.
Sweet.
Unreal. Amazing.
That was fun, man.
10 out of 10.
Class episode.
Boom.